Okay, so I think we're good for another 20 minutes at least.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to take too much more of your time because I know that you're at the track and I don't want to take some
No,
time
it's all
off.
right. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. So what I think what we were saying is that I wanted to know on your Xfinity One, where are you driving your diff loose, or meaning loose, not as in slipping, but is it like tight
So
or
and
looser?
normally I'm normally a loose-ish, medium to loose type of driver on my diff. A lot of people know that, especially when I run my reflex diffs. For the Xbility, I've actually found that tighter is better on the Xbility diff.
Interesting.
Even the same car, right? So I used the reflex diff on the Xbility car, and I ran it like normal, and I found that the Xbility diff, the tighter was better on it. I got faster with it,
Yeah,
but it still had a. It didn't make it feel like a tweak or like it just had too much of that rear edginess. Whenever I tightened it, it still had a little bit of that slip, but it gave it a lot of forward bite and forward drive,
hmm
which I liked because I was struggling with my driving style. I struggle in the infield, and I'm kind of a little slow. But with that diff, it got me a little quicker. It gave me a little bit of that forward bite without it being kind of like shaky in the rear and like
hmm
aggressive in a sense. A lot of people drive my car and they're like, "Oh, it's super easy to drive, but it has a lot of steering," and that's how I like the car. I like it to
hmm
feel lazy in a sense,
hmm
but still have that steering that I need.
Yeah,
Um, so I like the Xbility diff. At first, I was like, I don't know, and then I started driving it more and more. Again, I put like 800 laps in probably a day on it, and I was like, this is really good.
yeah,
The
yeah.
downfall on it is that you have to have specialized wheels,
hmm
but
That's
I
it.
mean, for the benefit that you get for it, it's kind of worth it.
Yeah. So with the Xfinity diff, you run it tighter than if you would like
Yeah,
put like a reflex diff on it, and then reflex
yeah,
diff you'd run it traditional, like
yeah, traditional.
your usual
Yep,
tightness. Yeah, that's what
100%.
I was speaking with Jose about that. Unfortunately, I haven't had the too much opportunity to drive the Xfinity one. I only did a couple of laps in Sam's car. So but not more than that.
Yeah.
But Sam had a, let's say, a special car because Sam's dad is already like looking to research and
Yeah,
development.
I'm
So
sure. Yeah.
so it's difficult to compare. Like, I mean, to know what the box stock feel is on the car, but it's a
Yeah.
beautiful car. I mean, Jose has done a really nice job, and Jose is a really good driver, so it's
Very.
a good
Yeah.
car. So he's gonna be also a top contender, I think, obviously.
Yeah, it's
So
gonna
it's
be
gonna be,
interesting how
yeah.
Worlds is gonna be. There's so many heavy hitters that are going.
Maldonado's gonna be there.
Christian and his team, they're
Yeah,
heavy.
yeah.
You have
Yeah.
John, you have Maldonado, you have Christian himself, you
Mhm.
have EJC, you have big hitters coming from Reflex, and then now that Jose Paquito is developing his own car and has a smaller team, right, than Reflex, but he has some heavy hitters as well.
Yep.
So it's going to be a very big mix-up, and you can't take away from RTA. I
Yep.
mean, I know they're working on something. They
Yep.
have to be working. I mean,
Yep.
after that last year's finish in Super Stock and four-wheel drive, and Guillaume did great in Pan and GT, and so did Thomas, they're going to come out swinging. So I think it's going to be a great Worlds to have a mix of cars. Here I helped Grant a little bit with his car. His car is doing really well, PN. So I think we're gonna have a super big mix in every single class of every single different manufacturer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Atomic won last year. The year before that it was Reflex. The year before that it was RTA. So it's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a phenomenal event. It's gonna be
No,
some crazy
I
competition.
think it's really interesting times for 28 scale.
100%.
And
Now with the
obviously,
Associated coming out too. Yeah.
exactly. Have you had the chance to try that?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good stock car, I think. I think it
Yeah.
needs still a little work on the modified side. It
Yeah.
pushes a little too much for my driving style in mid corner. But I think for stock racing and for an entry level lipo,
Yeah.
it's great. For the pricing, you can't really go wrong with it.
Yeah.
250 bucks
Yeah.
for a lipo stock touring car, like that's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's. I mean, I have mixed feelings about that car, but I mean, we'll definitely bring a lot of people into the
Agreed.
20 scale scene. So I
Agreed.
guess what we need to kind of be surfing on that wave because of that.
I agree.
We gotta
100%.
we gotta kind of welcome the new guys in and show how it's done in Mini Z. Uh, I think they're really gonna hate the track borders because I had a friend try Mini Z in Italy. So Lucas Urban,
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, Automatics factory driver.
Yep.
I think he went to Italy and he was trying some Mini Z, and he liked it, but he hated the borders because as soon as you touch the border, you kind of stop.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that was something that I think new drivers are going to be frustrated with. Reversing is going to be tough for a lot of people. It was very hard
Right.
for me in
Yeah.
the beginning. Did you start RC racing with Mini Z?
Yes. I
Okay, so it's
started
different. Yeah,
4.5 years ago.
So it's different for you because you kind of got used to it like from the get go. However,
Yeah.
like people coming from the bigger scales are not going to be used to reversing. So reversing
Yeah.
is pretty hard.
Correct. Yeah.
Traffic is pretty tough because you have
It
people
is.
reversing as well. So that's
Mhm.
really tough. Yeah, but I mean, Mini D, no traction compound. That's just yeah, that's heaven.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I
that's
think, and I think they just need to give it. If you're coming from a 10 scale perspective, especially somebody like him, where he's a big deal. You know, what I mean, Automatic's very a top three contender probably in the world when it comes to 10 scale touring car. Um, the idea of like, hey, the track's going to get better without sauce, it's going to be a little different for him. Because overall, I personally think 28 scale has probably the most grip out there compared to 12 scale. But that's about it. I don't
mhm.
think 10 scale touring has the same amount of grip. Now, can you get more grip out of the car? 100%, yeah. But the
Mhm.
development of the track itself, you get more grip out of the track on 28 scale than you do on any form of racing, really.
No, I
And
agree.
quicker too.
I agree, especially lateral grip. Maybe not forward bite, but
Exactly.
lateral grip is just crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why we have traction
100%.
roll issues, right? So,
Yep.
and another thing. So, speaking about automatics, I think I saw today a post from Max Mackler.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
at, I think
That's
on an
going to be
Xability as
crazy.
well. Eh,
It looked like the wheels were Xability, so I could kind of see a little bit of the front
Yeah,
chassis
yeah,
behind the front wheel. It looked like an Xability lip right there, and I only say that because that's where I measure my ride height.
mhm.
So that's it's interesting and it's kind of like scary at the same time, but exciting having more 10 skill people maybe be interested because like right now we have John Dixon in the states and he's our like big deal 10 scale guy that does
Yeah,
28 scale
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's phenomenal stock racing in 10 scale and 12 scale, so and you guys seen him in
yeah,
28 scale, so
yeah,
I can only imagine if more people do get into 28 scale, these higher top tier drivers, how it's going to be.
yeah. Exactly. We just need to keep 28 scale as 20. We have to keep the
I
integrity of
agree.
28 scale.
I agree.
Keep it
Yeah.
fun.
Keep it fun.
Yeah, just I mean, 10 scale and 12 scale is great, but there are some sides of it which are unfortunate, and we just want to kind of keep that friendliness there, and like approachability to for drivers
Yeah.
there and things like
Yep.
this. I mean,
And that's the
yeah,
biggest thing in 28 scale.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I can go to you, I can ask you what you're running, and I know for
Yep.
sure that 100% confident I'm getting the right information. So
Yep.
it's one of the only scales I think left where we can have that kind of confidence, and we have to kind of
Yeah.
ensure that that remains, and we have to lead by example, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
I'm really bad. I don't want to say I'm really bad, but I'm guilty of helping those that are competing versus me. It happened in Florida.
yeah,
Joe Katona, a shout out to him. He blew my butt in super stock. But I saw he was kind of off pace to where I was, and I kind of just like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm
yeah,
using, and he won.
yeah.
And I shot myself in the foot by doing that. But at the end of the day, that's what makes this scale so great is that
Exactly.
I'm able to
Yeah.
get somebody else faster. If he's faster, he's just faster.
It's
That's
just
just plain
faster.
and simple.
Exactly. Exactly. And then you have
Yeah,
something to aim for, right? So being the
exactly.
fastest for me is boring. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
I would quit RC because I was the fastest or in certain
yeah,
categories, right? So
yeah.
actually it's the same thing. Like I did this was back in the day where I drove it. The only time I beat Michael Orlowski, he was 10, but he was really good, right?
Yeah.
And I actually came second at the European champs at that time because I gave the tip to the kid who was in my team, and he
Mm,
basically was a better driver than me, but he didn't have
yeah.
the technical knowledge, and I kind of shot myself in the foot as well. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'll probably be remembered by him, at least by him, for kind of helping him out, so
Yep, exactly.
I think it's really important. So yeah, and just based on this kind of conversation what we're having, I think of course sharing is caring, but more than that is I mean we gain so much knowledge doing this stuff. And if we keep it
Mhm.
all to ourselves, I mean, that's such a waste. I mean, I had a friend that unfortunately passed away of, leukemia. Just I found out today about this, and he was such
Oh
a good
yeah, my
painter.
condolences. I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I'm so sorry.
He was such a good painter, and he was really good in doing, paint jobs, and he was like one of the best, in my opinion, in France. And of course, he was doing his thing. He loved it. But then I was thinking, Jesus, imagine all that stuff. I mean, all that knowledge that he kind of left with. I mean, he probably, kind of, showed people and things like this. But imagine, like, you have this knowledge and you don't share it, and then you leave this
Yeah,
place. It,
great.
it's
Yeah,
it's really a pity.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think what we're doing in 28 Kilo is really good because everybody's sharing and really kind of
yeah.
like I always call it mountain climbers, kind of like pushing, and just pushing the level as much as you can, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Yeah, I
but
mean, it's never fun being like a lap or two laps ahead of somebody when you know they can be racing you. I'd rather get beat and have a good race than win by 2 laps and
yeah,
kind of be bored, in
completely
a
agree.
sense. So like,
Mhm.
it's just the scale needs to stay that way.
Yeah,
And I said it on my last live, help those out that are coming in. You, especially the new associated coming in. If you see them doing something wrong or struggling or can't get around the track, just help them. It
exactly.
doesn't hurt you anything to get 10 minutes out of your program to go help somebody else that's going to come back and now capitalize and make that skill bigger.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
win-win situation at the end of the day. You
Yeah.
get more racers. Who doesn't want more racers?
Yeah, actually, yeah, yeah, you're right. So just maybe I can give two or three tips for people starting to race. Maybe like the newer guys.
Yeah.
Two or three things I can think about. The first thing is if you hit the border and you want to reverse out, just ensure that no one is coming behind you before you hit reverse, or else
100%.
there's gonna be a pileup.
Yeah.
Next thing is if you're like on the roof somewhere, like with the black RCP, just kind of announce that you're on the roof. That's another
Yep.
thing that people can kind of be careful and watchful when they're at that section. And there's another thing: if you're driving with the Mini Z style body clips, tape the body, especially if you
Yep.
have a Jumarima,
Yep.
because if you hit, the
100%.
body's going to come off, and you're going to lose a lot of time waiting for the marshal to come up. So those are three
Yep.
things that I can think of. Maybe you might be able to compliment on anything more.
Yeah, I think for like my top, like if you're new and you're going into either a hobby store or like a club, run what they're running.
Yeah,
Whatever the most
mm,
popular vehicle is, car, run that car.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, cool. We know Reflex is fast, we know RTA is fast, we know Xfinity is fast, but if the major chassis there's a GLR, start with a GLR.
yeah, yeah,
That's going to be the best thing because then everybody can help you. You might need a part that maybe that store doesn't have when you run an Xfinity. Now your day's kind of ruined and you kind of made the trip for no reason. If you run a GLR and that's what they're running there and selling the most, then it's great. You can keep going, you can get tips from these guys and learn from that. And then if you're ready to move to another chassis, then you move from another chassis. Um, that's the best thing I can do. Support your local hobby
yeah,
and
for
your
sure.
hobby store and your club.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah,
in Europe, you guys are a lot of clubs. We have a lot of hobby stores here. Support it. That's the only reason I have the place that we have here at RCHU is because our racers try to support RCHU as much as possible. And that's what we
got
need
it.
to do around the world. If not, this hobby will die. And we don't
Yeah,
want that. I mean, the world's getting too crazy for this hobby to die. Too
yeah.
expensive.
I agree. Yeah, yeah. No,
That's the
no, it's
biggest tip that I can give somebody. And watch videos, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. There are some people out there, yeah, that can be kind of rude, but there's people out there that are good. A lot of people think like I'm a top tier driver, and all I do is help. That's all I do. I don't care about my program. If I see people struggling, I just take their car and I work with them and spend an hour out of my day, even on a race day, to go help them and make sure that their program's good because I want them to come back. I'll be back. That's not a problem for
yeah,
me. Okay,
yeah,
cool. I didn't finish first, but I'll be back.
yeah,
I
for
want
sure.
them to be sure they come back.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly. I
that's the
mean,
biggest thing.
frustration, I think, is maybe the lead cause of people quitting RC.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's an important lesson to kind of retain for anybody who's has some knowledge there,
Yeah.
and you need to share and
Yeah.
ensure. So I mean, you can be the best, but if you're the best of two people, what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
every chassis is good. A lot of people are like, "Oh, this chassis is this," and every chassis is good. Every chassis has their own benefit, and every chassis has their downfall.
it's
It's just how manufacturing works and how designing
all a
works.
question of
Not everybody's
compromise.
gonna
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
exactly. So whatever fits your driving style, really. Like
Mhm.
I struggle with kingpin front ends, and once I went to a double A on front end, I got a lot more consistent, a lot quicker
Mhm.
because of my driving style and how I wanted the car to react in the middle of the corner. I don't like driving with a heavy front end and like diving in really hard. I
Mhm.
like the car to kind of like feel like it rolls in a sense, like almost tipping over in a sense. But
Mhm.
that's just how I like to drive. I don't like to drive on the I like super hard on the gas or on the throttle on the wheel. I just like to drive smooth as possible. So, yeah, try all the cars. Every car is good. Every car is good. I've tried everything from a Kyosho MR04 to the Xbility, the Reflex RTA, Atomic. They're all
Mhm.
good. Everything's good. So,
Yeah, no, no, Kyoshos are, I mean, we didn't talk too much about Kyoshos, but Kyoshos are really fun too.
a phenomenal
Yeah,
car to get started.
yeah,
Phenomenal.
yeah. So I mean, obviously there's the older MR03, but I had the privilege to try the MR04. It has a little bit more front end, so
Yeah,
it surprised me. I wasn't waiting for that much front end when I
yeah.
tried it. So
It's a lot smoother
that's
too.
great. And it's the box stock. I mean, of course, there's so much difference between the motors, like especially the brush motors. You can find, the more you
Yeah.
run it, the faster it go. But
Yep.
you can have so much fun at that speed. It's a bit slower. I mean, quite
Yeah.
a bit slower than the 2500 GTLM. But and you
Only
can,
on a only in the infield, really.
yeah,
Like if
yeah,
you
yeah,
compare a brushed motor on the straightaway, depending how good of a battery you have on an MR4 or MR03, they keep up pretty good on the straightaway. Where it laxes in the infield. So
yeah,
that's
for
where a
sure.
lot of people are like, oh, like they're pretty quick. They got
The,
speed.
the MR04 in the infield now is a bit, it's definitely a
Terrible. Yes.
step up from the MR03. But what I meant
Agreed.
was like, pure speed wise. Of course it's more or less the same thing
Yeah, yeah.
as GTLM. But what I
Hmm.
like about that is that 28 scale for me is the hardest category. I mean, I've done more or less everything, and it's so small and it's so nimble that it's very, you need to develop a kind of a different level of reflexes. So a
Agreed.
good 10 scale driver coming into Mini Z is going to struggle in the beginning, but of course they'll get up to speed quicker. But they're going to struggle because it's really like nimble, and they're going to make a lot of
Yeah.
mistakes. This is what I normally would assume.
Hmm.
Um, so the speeds at GTLM 2500 or like MR04, MR03 are really good for battling because it's a speed which is manageable. Like open Mini Z, that is, I don't think there's five people in this world that can really drive it properly.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So it's. I think really, classes like 2500, 3500 are the ones where we can have the most fun because we can really,
Agreed.
battle it out. So
Yeah.
yeah,
A lot more mistakes when you go in a modified 28 skill class
yeah,
compared to your 3500 and 2500 kV. A lot
yeah.
less mistakes, more racing. Where in modified, depending on the field and the track, it's more of can you get out of the traffic? Like, can you avoid the crashes? And
Mhm.
if you do, can you stay consistent?
Yeah,
Right. So that's
yeah.
the way I see it.
What motor are you driving in modified or in open? Sorry.
Hobby Wing 5000.
And what about Pancar? Same thing.
Same thing.
And in Pancar, you're driving 14 millimeters.
No, I normally run 11s,
Okay. Yeah.
11, 8.5s. So I actually use, most of the time, a lot of people probably think I'm crazy. I use the same car for both classes. I just change the bumper.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, you're amazing. And what
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to kind of point out, because you started RC racing in general about what, maximum 3 years ago.
Max 4.5, like literally 4.5 years ago is when I started.
So how did you become so? I mean, yeah, tell people how you became so good so quickly. Because I mean, I've been driving for
So
20 years, and you're way better than me. So, well,
the
not mini Z, but I've
backstory,
been doing RC for 20 years. But yeah.
I've always been into one scale cars. Since I was younger, my dad we were drag racing and stuff, Honda
Mhm.
Civics, whatever. So I started driving when I was like 13 or 14. Always been interested in motorsports. And I think for me is more of an obsession of being good than wanting to be good. So I'm obsessed with trying to be good at everything. And whenever I stumbled upon RCHQ, I had a broken tibia on my left leg and I couldn't go to work or anything, and I saw they had a track, and I was actually shout out to Mark Santa Maria. He's a huge blog person here in the U.S. He just opened up a mini Z track in Dallas called Area RC. I stumbled upon his video on PN Nats here in RCHQ, And I was like, man, that really looks familiar. Like, I don't, that looks like the mall down, the street from my house. So I came, broke in and everything, and saw the Mini Z track. And I asked, at the time it was Doug and Fern, like, what is this? How does it work? I saw it on YouTube, and it told me, and it was like probably a Thursday or Friday. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna buy a Mini Z. So I bought an MR4 Audi R8, the white one.
Hmm.
And that Saturday I came and raced, and I was hooked. And ever since then, I practice as much as possible every single day for as many hours as I let me.
Yeah.
And I tried from every tire compound that I could on a box stock, from Kyosho to PN to Mark, everything. And that's what I did for the first probably year and a half, 2 years. I practiced and traveled a lot, like
Hmm.
a lot, like more than anything. That's all I did for the first year, year and a half. And then I practice a lot. I just spend a lot of time at RCHU when I have the track up, and I'll spend 12 hours here just driving.
Yeah.
Um, and that's like once I find a base setup where I can just drive the car, I just drive the car. I don't go and like I'm gonna change springs or I'm gonna change roll center or I'm gonna change toe. I'm gonna change. No, I just drive the car, and I try to get as consistent as possible. So that when I do make a change, by the first lap or first turn, I can already tell if that setup's gonna work or not.
Okay.
And that's how
That's
it happened.
interesting.
Like
Okay. Yeah.
that is all I did was just drive and practice.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything else. And again, it's a more of an obsession for me of trying to be good at RC than a hobby. So for me, I just like I feel in love with it. I think the skill itself and the racing, you get that same adrenaline as you do real car racing,
Hmm. Hmm.
but 10 times safer.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm able to shake on the stand instead of shaking in the car and
Yeah.
potentially, either swinging left or right or on a motorcycle doing something stupid like,
Yeah.
and that's I think that's where I got it from. Like the adrenaline is exactly the same or even more for 8 minutes straight, maybe battling somebody at the same pace, trying to make a win for a national champ or whatever it is. Like it's there. It's the same high, the same
Yeah.
high
Yeah. Yeah.
as a
For
real
sure.
car.
Yeah. I know for sure. One thing I wanted to ask you because you've done one to one scale racing.
Mhm.
When you're playing a video game, a car video game, are you in the cockpit or are you outside the car? You know what I
So
mean?
I do both. It depends on what I'm doing when I'm playing the video game. If I'm tuning the car and wanting to see what it does, like on Forza or Gran Turismo, I want to see what the car's doing on the body roll and stuff like that. So I'll tune the car on the outside first, and then once I get the feeling of it right, I go in the cockpit
You're
and drive
RC.
it out.
You're a RC racer, man. Oh, for sure. Because I mean, I can't drive. I can't drive inside the cockpit. I have to be
Yeah,
the furthest away possible.
yeah, yeah,
So when we go like rental karting, I tell don't just put 100 kilos in the cart. Give me remote control. Put me on the roof of the thing, and I'll
yeah,
compete. But
yeah,
I can't
yeah,
do it.
yeah,
I can't hit the apexes. Nothing when I'm inside the cart.
yeah,
So it is what it is. My son's a different story, but yeah. So
yeah,
that's interesting. And I mean, I think practice, as you said, is really important. But what you probably have a very structured way of practicing as well, because it's just not
yeah,
practice to practice. From hearing you just find something which works. Drive as much as you can there, and then after that, you change something. Then you can feel it right away
yeah.
once it
Yeah, and
changes.
the first change I actually do is probably tires. I don't
Yeah,
even do springs or anything.
yeah,
I'll probably change tires. I'll probably go through. Oh man, I'm gonna out myself here, but in a day I can probably go through a set of probably 5 to 10 rears. That's how much I practice
yeah. But
just in
that
a day.
but that's on 5,000 kV.
That's a 5,000 kV motor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah,
the downside of open racing is just that
yeah,
they use up pretty quickly when you're
yeah. I
when
mean,
you're in a
like
big
stock
motor.
touring, like 2,500 stock. I mean, I can make a rear tire last me probably 2 months.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of just it's important to highlight that when stock racing, that's also one advantage is you can really drive long time
yeah,
with used tires. Of course, you're going to lose speed over time because the diameter is going to shrink.
yeah,
But
yeah. Your
besides that, it
rollouts can
works
change.
really well.
Yep.
However, for open, within I don't know about you, but at least my driving style, when I'm with a big motor, anything like 5,000 or above, I think 3 packs maximum, and then after that, there's a huge decrease. That's what I feel. At
Yeah.
least, yeah.
So I think also depending on the car. So prior to me running the Xfinity, I always ran super tall tires in the
Mhm.
in the rear. Not super tall, but like stock Marco tens. They come in at like 24 and a half. Um, and that's why I would literally every 2 packs I put a fresh set on, just because I like the tire
Mhm.
feeling, the more sidewall on the
Mhm.
on the rear. in the side bite. But as of recent on the Xbility, I've been able to run them from 24.5 all the way down to 23 in the rear.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Just I saw your finger. Show me your finger again.
which one?
No,
This one?
no. Yeah, look how dirty they are. Doing 12
Oh
scale and
yeah, doing.
traction
I'm doing
compound.
the.
Traction
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
compound. Oh man, traction compound. I hate traction compound.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's
My fingers, they're disgusting.
yeah, exactly.
Luckily, we only use SXT 3.0 here, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's nice. But
yeah,
yeah, it's filthy. That's the
yeah,
downfall, probably. I think of any foam racing is traction compound because it
for
sticks
sure.
so much more than like asphalt. You're trying to get in the foam, trying to clean it real good and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Like for me, I'm not gonna go use one set of tires, one run, and put another set on. I'm gonna clean them. I'm gonna
Yeah,
make them last as much as I can in 12 scales. So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
my hands are filthy right now,
yeah, yeah.
and
That's
that's just from like the couple hours I was just here this morning.
yeah. I know the feeling. I remember the feeling of finishing a 10 scale race or a 12 scale race, and you just want to once you're done, you just want to hit the
Oh
shower
man,
because
yeah, yeah. I
you're so
probably wash my
disgusted.
hands like 30 times a day
Yeah,
at
yeah,
this point. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So cool, cool. Listen, anything else you want to say? We've been going on for almost what 50 minutes now.
yeah.
So I don't want to take too much more of your time. I know that you're at the
No,
track.
man, I'm super excited for Worlds and have you guys come. We always have a good time. Myself, you, Pepe, and Thomas, and the crew, and I'm just excited to kind of have that. That the scale's kind of growing in a sense of the competitiveness that it has and modified and stuff like that. So, but at the same time, it's bringing really nice, cool people that are competitive, and they're not mean or anything or rude. So I'm pumped for Worlds. This Worlds is going to be awesome. It's going to be a good time. The facility has super high grip. It's a lot of room to just kind of hang out and talk. I know at RC2 Worlds we're kind of separated in a
Yeah,
sense,
yeah,
so it's a bummer. But here in Colorado, it's going to be a lot better. We're going to be closer, so it's going to be a lot of talking smack to each other, which is
yeah,
great. I think
yeah,
that's the
yeah. That's
best
awesome.
part. And,
Yeah,
being friendly and helping everybody out. So I'm super pumped for that.
it's
Keep 20th scale alive. Support
exactly.
your
It's
local
coming quickly,
hobby
huh?
and
It's coming
clubs.
very
Yeah,
quickly.
super quick.
It's
I mean,
just a
it's
little over a month.
October here soon.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So when are you coming in early or what are your plans?
No, so I'm doing the minimum, meaning I think I'm flying in on Wednesday.
Okay,
I
perfect.
arrived there since there's, with the time difference. I arrived there Wednesday, maybe evening, and then I
Okay.
leave the Monday afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So same thing we're doing pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be good. Yeah, I'm excited. Anything from you? Anything new from your stuff? I saw you brought a
Oh, there's.
new
I'm very busy with stuff. I mean, I'm kind
yeah.
of this is what's kind of keeping me busy and mentally sane right now. So I'm
Yeah.
very busy on my stuff, but lots of things happening. So yeah, I mean, right now my kind of priority is to make build a global worldwide dealer network. So as you said in the beginning, support your local hobby track. That's really important. The message is really important. So I don't want to be selling stuff directly to drivers. I want to sell them to the clubs. That
Yeah, it's
way
awesome.
people can buy the stuff from the clubs and keep the clubs alive, basically.
Yep.
So it's a bit tough because of course people not all I'm not a kind of worldwide known figure, but hopefully we'll get there slowly but surely. But that's what I believe in, like really kind of supporting the local scene. And so yeah, hopefully we'll slowly kind of work on that. So that's what I'm doing most of the time now, like on the computer, emailing,
Yeah.
left, right, and center. Like Pepe helped me with sending
Yeah.
emails to Mexico hobby shops and things like this.
Awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm reaching out to some in the US as well, and that's what I'm trying to do. And of course, I'm having fun developing stuff and just drawing and testing stuff. And I think about
Yeah.
this 24/7. So every time I think of a silly idea, I want to try it and see if it works. So
Awesome.
so yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's some stuff I'm going to try in pan car because you can go with the prototype.
Yep.
Some other stuff which I'm going to try in GTLM stock because there'll be commercially available option parts for the RC28.
Hmm.
That's a car I'm going to be running in GTLM.
Nice.
Um, because I just wanted something different, and I like the simple mentality. So I like, kind of simple front ends, kingpin front ends, and I like the fact that it doesn't have springs. So the
Yeah.
conversion kit that I'll have won't have springs. It will just have the, the original kind of, the plastic
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I like everything
Thinking.
which is simplicity because I think
Yeah.
simplicity is key in 28 scale. You don't want to go too unless you have machines that are good enough to make Rolex watches. I don't think you should go too my view of things. And yeah, so yeah, just having fun, man, and really can't wait. I would have loved to come for this Park Lane Hobbies race, but unfortunately, the stars didn't line up. But we have a few races here. We have the German Nats coming up, which is I believe not next weekend, but the weekend after. So that's going to be cool. A lot of the Italians are going to show up there, so there's going to be some good level there. There's going to be a German, some Swiss. I'm not sure French, unfortunately, but that's going to be cool. We're going to meet up with friends and things like this. And yeah, so yeah, the season's starting, so it's
Yeah, yeah. It's about
can't
to get
complain.
busy.
Can't complain.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Listen, man, it was great catching up with you. And
Yeah,
then yeah, so we'll do this again
yeah. I'll
some
see you
other
in a
time.
month.
Yeah. Take care, man.
All right, brother. Cheers.
Take care. Cheers. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.